This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason, what do you have on tap for us today?
Well, tonight we're going back to the endless well of content that is Star Wars. I mean, I've done so many Star Wars podcasts at this point that you should expect that, hey, we're gonna get at least one each year, and this could be like the only one we're getting this year because wow, I am all for consuming Star Wars media in any form, be it film, streaming, TV, comics, video game. But yeah, it's there's a lot of feelings that Star Wars is in kind of a lull at this point, in the sense that it's not delivering any real it's compelling media at this time. And I'm saying this as someone who's just seen The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I enjoyed. I saw it in theaters. I thought it was entertaining, and yeah, but also I will certainly admit that it's basically like a 2 hour episode of the streaming series. And if you're waiting to see it on Disney Plus, which is certainly going to come to in the next month or two, then okay, I can't really say that you should rush out and see it in theaters as it is. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed seeing it in the theater before I went to Fanime, but there there you go. That's how it is right now. And also, it's at the time that I'm recording this, there's evidence that it's going to be schooled by two separate horror releases at at this time, both Obsession and Backrooms. But that's a separate story, right there. So, but even then, it's hey, I'm here to talk about Star Wars as the comics go, and well, man, it's I kind of had this feeling that Marvel was going to eventually just stop treating Star Wars as this new special thing they had after they got it from Dark Horse, and it kind of looks like we've finally got to that point because well we've got the you can basically like segregate Marvel's Star Wars efforts into three different eras. Basically the like episode 4 to episode 5 era, which is what the original series was set in, the one that sold 1 million copies of its first issue through lots of retailer incentives, and it's like and also loot box incentives as well. But then it kind of dropped off after that. And yeah, I really enjoyed what Jason Aaron and Kieran Gillen and then the Greg Pak did in his final 8 issues, did with their respective runs. And then we got Charles Soule in his 50 issue run from The Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi, which had the benefit of telling a solid Lando Calrissian story, in the space of that run. So basically, right there, you've got 125 issues of Star Wars comics, and hey, it's that's really solid right there. And so you kind of figure that hey, what's coming next? Should have a similar long tail, because we got that first series that lasted 75 issues. Then you've got the other series, that follow up series that lasted 50 issues. So what's the next series gonna last? All of 10 issues, really. So that's disconcerting, to say the least, because well, it's not like Marvel got an A-list writer to handle this. I mean, no disrespect to Alex Segura, but I mean, this is a guy that I do not follow to the same extent that I do Aaron Guylan or Soul. Like to that end. I mean, and if you're being generous, well, um, like Segura's run, like really only lasted 22 issues because, and that's only if you're willing to account for his Battle of Jakku 3 issue, three 4 issue miniseries in addition to his 10 issue series that followed. Now, longtime readers and listeners will know that, hey, I talked about the Battle of Jakku like a year ago, and well, that was basically like Segura's attempt to clear the deck to like before addressing further Star Wars stories. It's like in his run, and it was fine. It wasn't terrible, but in terms of like depicting a climactic like storyline in the battle between the rebellion and the empire, it really wasn't about that. It was about like like one it's like one imperial moff Edelhard who believed that he was destined for greatness, after his like rise through the imperial ranks. But then like it was eventually revealed that he was just like not like they just he was just like like another jobber, like someone who was just like hey, like you're here to advance the interests of the empire and nothing more. Like you were just like a regular guy, and all the like imperial like stuff like is like left to these other people. And crucially, it's like in terms of like depicting the actual Battle of Jakku, well, that wasn't actually like the point of these 3 4 issue miniseries. So that was kind of frustrating, disappointing, and that was like the main reason I didn't think it was I didn't think that Segura's run was getting off to an auspicious start because, well, at the time Segura was basically announced as like he was going to be writing the ongoing Star Wars series from that point, and I figured, okay, hey, so like maybe he was just like they just like delivering a deck clearing exercise that was going to like deliver better things like in the future. I mean that's fine. It's like like we'll see how that goes. And well, well, it turns out that Marvel has had this like this directive where like people are getting like 10 issues to like deliver their storylines, less if they sell fuck all. But and that's what has happened here, because Segura's run on the Star Wars proper series lasted all of 10 issues. And you can get that in a single volume that is called like Out of the Darkness. So you look at this and think like, wow, it's like this Star Wars series lasted like 10 issues. It's like, man, it's like this has to be kind of terrible, right? Well, no, it's not terrible. It's just really like unspectacular. It's not it doesn't like, doesn't do a good job like, advancing the story, and it doesn't do a good job of like serving its like it's it the like the familiar characters in terms of like, how they handle things. Because, well, like this storyline like is basically concerned with like the post like Return of the Jedi era of the of the rebellion, like turning into the New Republic, turning into like a proper governing entity, like as they it's like as they try to like restore stability to the galaxy. And that's a good like angle right there. But well, it's like the story for this like for this volume basically like involves um It's like the Republic trying to negotiate. Um, it's like we're like it's like a trade agreement with them per like with the Perosi Union, and then try basically like we're buffing like the the Republic, saying like they're bullies, and we can get a like a better deal. It's like by going on our own and just fighting, establishing our own um I think like our own like influential spear, and okay, that's fine, fine and all, but at the same time though, you've also got I mean, that's the kind of that's the angle that that Leia and Mon Mothma are are pursuing, and at the same time though, Luke is like um like pursuing like his it's like his own agenda, like trying to help out this, but also just finding out that it's like the people that the Pro C collective are trying to use are this it's like an alien race called the Nagai, and they've also got their own issues, and they also got their own connections to a like ancient Jedi artifact that Luke is like trying to pursue that as well. Well, like that's also like issuing its own complications too. And at the same time, though, turns out that the Nagai, like this race that is like acting as the it's like as the brute force, the, like employ like enforcers of the Perosi. Well, it's like they actually had their own leader, like Garlev, who worked with Han Solo back in the day, like and once like Garlev, their leader Garlev, crash lands on Cloud City or Bespin, and it's like and is under like Lando Calrissian's care. Well, it's like when this is revealed, it turns out that like he is trying to like secure freedom for his people, like like in this in this complicated free freedom like expressions. Like it's really it's weird, it's strange. It's like I don't it's like it's kind like it's connected to like Star Wars is like a sensible feel to like overthrow fascism, but overall it's like it just kind of feels like like Segura is just trying to do like too much stuff like at the same time. It's like and you've got at one time like like Leia handling the political stuff, Luke handling the intimate, like person to person like stuff, and Han like handling the personal, hey, I knew Garlev and he was trying to like help his people out, and it's like it's weird. It's like it's complicated, and it doesn't like it doesn't like express itself in any like interesting collective ec- interesting way. It's like I it's like I read all 10 issues of this collection. It's like and it was fine. It's like at the same I will admit that compared to the Battle of Jakku, which if I'm being generous, maybe I can admit that maybe Segura was feeling hemmed in by some of the like other Star Wars lore at the time, including Chuck Wendig's Aftermath trilogy. But with um Out of the Darkness, like it doesn't feel like he's like depicting a clear path forward, for the for the Star Wars franchise at at this point. I'm I'm actually reminded, like, back in the day of when, it's like of when Kevin J. Anderson, the guy who's done lots of Star Wars stuff, like for the expanded universe back in the day. When he was like pitching his Star Wars like trilogy, which I read, and but originally when he did this, like he was informed by Lucasfilm, like, oh, wait, you can't actually like, do a lot of this stuff because it turns out that the Emperor, like Palpatine, came back and 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 tried to like take over the Republic again. He's like, "What? When did this happen?" It's like, "Oh, this is in the Dark Horse series, like Dark Empire." And he's like, "Oh, okay, fine." So like, I'll go ahead and write around that. And Anderson was like, gracious enough to do that because he also acknowledged in his foreword to the Dark Empire Collected Edition that this made for a more interesting storyline. So yeah, it's like so yeah, I appreciated that like that acknowledgement, like that whole like hey, like the comics lead the could wag the dog, so to speak. But here it doesn't really feel that way. It kind of feels that Segura is forced to tell a story that does not have like a lot of like connection to the overall future of the Star Wars franchise, post Return of the Jedi, because you kind of figure that hey, like that period, like does have like a lot of space to be explored, especially with Han, Luke, and Leia, leading the charge, and that's not what we get here because like these characters are just kind of like kind of stymied in their like in their charge. Like Luke, like gets like gets defeated, not just by the it's like by the old separatist droids, but also by the sensible like antagonist of this 10-issue run, like Amreno Oscura, which okay, I will admit that I appreciate that Segura is tick for like naming like all the characters like he encountered that are in his storyline, like giving them like hey, here's your proper name and all. So yeah, that's good, but that only like helps because like the characters aren't really like memorable otherwise. Like Reno Skura, Rin Zenot, and also Perpetual Tryhard Baylor Valance. Valance, I mean, god damn it. I mean, yeah, he's got a good distinctive visual as being like the one like real cyborg in like Star Wars lore. But in terms of trying to make him as like the whole like badass that you think he is, like no, it doesn't work. And also when you're trying to like make him as like the whole like badass that will make the hard choices that Han Solo wouldn't. Well, that just doesn't work as well because like I think that Han Solo works when he's just really make the choices that we don't expect. When he just shoots Greedo because like wow, I wasn't expecting him to do that. So, but at one point when it's like when he there's one point in Segura's run when Solo is like contemplating like shooting like one of the main antagonists of it, and he decides he makes a big like, big speech like hey, no, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not that person anymore. And then Valance goes like yeah, well, I will, and then shoots her in the face. So it's like okay, fine. I mean, yeah, it's like you're okay. I get that you're trying to make like Valance, this like series badass, but it doesn't feel that way. It just does not work in the way that you're expecting it to. And also Same goes for like at the point when on Mothma basically asks Leia to hey like, you've got to like acknowledge your obligations to the Republic and like work with us in order to it's like in order to like it's like secure the Republic's future and Leia's like damn you Mon Mothma for using logic in your arguments. And also when Luke tries to like fight against like the evil and Zati like threat for this run, Reno Segura, and he gets like like slashed in his face. Well, it's like okay, you know we know how a lot of these characters like like arcs end, like because of the because of what we've seen in the films and the streaming series. So why not just give them like their triumphs, give them like like when they're like faced against like actual physical threats, like let them win because like ultimately we know that they lose against moral arguments like in the end according to the actual continuity like of the series, but that's not what happens here, and that's really kind of like the most disappointing part of of the series. And I mean, even though like like democracy triumphs over like the evils of fascism, yeah, it's I will admit that if you're not like a like committed to like following the ongoing narrative of the Star Wars universe like I am, then Segura's run is just gonna be like eh, fine. And also, I will also say that Segura's run is not worth following from an artistic perspective. Now, no disrespect to the artists who contributed to his series, because Phil Noto, who did the first issues of this 10-issue run, he's a great, clear, like stylistic storyteller, and he does a good job of like depicting the action like in the first 6 issues. I mean, that's good and all, and I have no issues with what he delivers here. But then when you get to the back half of these 10 issues, then you realize that Marvel is just kind of grasping for whoever is available, and that includes um like Pete Woods, who has done like spectacular work when he's given the time on the Meta Baron. So, but when he's doing like a monthly series, like as is here, it's like well, it's not quite on the same level. It's still really solid, and I wish he'd been able to do. He'd been given the time to do like the final 2 issues, but that's not what happens here. But then you also get Ramon Rosanas, who'd also like done issues for Charles Soule's run. Like he was actually like the regular artist at one point, and he does one issue here, and then you get Star Wars Junior and Luke Ross handling the final issue, which I mean I don't want to like disrespect like the work done by these creators here, but it just kind of feels that like at the same time that like it was like the ultimate fate of Marvel's like adoption of like of the Star Wars franchise that they were just gonna like, get whoever wasn't busy on these titles, and that's disappointing. That just and you can't figure like whoever was like was going to illustrate like a Star Wars ongoing Star Wars title was going to get like a boost because of this, but I don't think that's what we got here. Even though I think that all of the uh, all the work that was delivered from Noto, Woods, uh, Rosanas, and Ross it's like is ultimately solid. But in the end, though, it's like well, I mean, it's like I think that Segura's run both with the Battle of Jakku and Out of the Darkness, it's ultimately one for the completists. Someone who can basically say, hey, I know what happened, like in these. like in these storylines, even if like they don't have any actual like importance like on what's come before or afterwards, and that's really that's really disappointing to be honest, because you kind of figured that Marvel was like going like kind of was going to like build up Star Wars rather than just like rely on its like cultural importance. But that's not what's happened here. And and as we're going forward, well, we don't have an ongoing Star Wars series. We've got like the new Galaxy Edge series. You've got like the Darth Maul series from Benjamin Hersey, and oh, and there's the upcoming finale from Charles Soule's like Kylo Ren like trilogy, which yeah, it's like that's a separate issue. It's like that maybe I'll talk about in a podcast like in the future, because I love talking about Star Wars and tracking its like importance in comics, but its importance in comics seems to be really um like not really that important, like compared like as far as Marvel is like is delivering it like at this point. Like I mean, overall, it's like Segura's work isn't bad, but it's like not important. It's really only like relevant to completionists, and overall, it's like I can't say that I regret buying these volumes, but well, I'm a Star Wars completionist like at this point, or at least for the like, the major stuff. It's it's not terrible, but I wouldn't say that you need to go out and buy it yourself. So there you go. It's not bad, but I think that that's kind of where Star Wars is right now. It's not bad, but it's not compelling. Like that you need to like, go out and like seek it out like on your own terms at any point right now.
Okay, well, that's pretty explanatory there. So I guess there's not other questions that we have. Do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Well, it's like I think that where we are right now is like, hey, like we're talking about like like stuff that's relevant to our interest. Like, hey, we may have like be able to talk about like the next volume of Transformers, like for in the Underground universe, which is now written by Robert Kirkman, like the guy who gave us Invincible and The Walking Dead. So is that going to be reason to like get us like invested in this like in this storyline again? What do you say, John?
Oh, well, have to look forward to it and see.
Yeah. So that's what hopefully we'll be talking about that next time. I mean, so, like things could like align otherwise, but there you go.
All right, we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
There's everyone.